Hello and welcome to this special edition of Football Planet with a focus on the Africa Cup of Nations. I'm Serge Mankou. After years' delay, AFCON is getting underway in Cameroon. Infrastructure, stadiums and hotels. The host country has pulled all the stops to stage Africa's biggest football event, despite the threat of the coronavirus. The 33rd edition is also bigger with 24 teams divided into 6 groups. But who will claim it? The answers with our guest. So AFCON will finally take place in Cameroon 1 year after the scheduled time. The effort to hold the event has been enormous. Massive investments in terms of infrastructure made it impossible to be postponed again. First with the pandemic, CAF and the Cameroonian government have agreed on drastic measures to ensure the event goes ahead as planned.
Mola, the mascot, has already toured the country and met Cameroonian football fans. It is now waiting for the competition to start. With 80% of hotels that have been built or renovated, Cameroon has made the most of a year-long delay due to the COVID outbreak to better prepare accommodations welcoming the 24 teams and soccer lovers who will take part in the African Cup of Nations. The Cup of Nations is an activity of sovereignty, international influence and prestige for the Cameroonian state. That is why the government has invested considerable resources into it. Indeed, 520 billion CFA francs, which represent over 2% of Cameroon's GDP, were invested to take care of town and country planning and, more importantly, to build 4 new stadiums. Patrick Mboma is full of praise for the work that has been done. If I think of my experience and make a comparison with global standards, there is nothing to be ashamed of here. In other words, what I've seen here is crazy. I'm completely satisfied. In a country where football is a national sport, many Cameroonians have not spared themselves, buying goodies and tying products to be good and ready. A whole nation that is counting on a sports win and an economic victory.
In Cameroon, the number of people getting tested for COVID-19 and vaccinated is on the rise. This vaccination center in the capital, Yaoundé, has experienced a surge in the numbers. We observe people who come in waves to be vaccinated, who claim and who demand the vaccination. While 10 days ago, a week, there were no people on hand. I tell myself that with the CAN starting next Sunday, people have the urge to go and get vaccinated because they want to see the matches. The requirement of vaccination and COVID tests to access the stadiums during the CAF and COCAN competitions are still largely ignored. The residents of Yaoundé, however, remain divided on the idea of being vaccinated to access the stadiums. I can't go to the stadium because they ask you to be vaccinated before going, and I can't. I have not yet been vaccinated, but I will do it tomorrow. It remains to be seen whether the stadiums will be filled to 80% capacity for Cameroon's matches and 60% for the matches of other countries.
But AFCON is 24 nations vying for the continent's football crown, currently held by Algeria. So who are the favorites? We discussed this with Anthony Molungi, a sports journalist based in Paris, France.
Bonjour Anthony.
Hello, Anthony. 24 teams are playing to topple defending champions Algeria. Who, in your view, will win this?
I think that Algeria is failing to succeed itself because Algeria at the moment is a very competitive team. It has not lost in several matches, almost 30 matches, and Algeria recently even won the Arab Football Cup in a very nice way, in difficult conditions in Qatar. And in the second part, I will see Senegal, which is a nation that is still among the favorites, but which is struggling too. This is even after reaching the final. The third are the Egyptians, who are the most titled team on the continent. And they are still there, even if we least expect them, they can still surprise us.
But some teams found it difficult in the end to gather all their players, especially in view of the difficulties regarding their release by their clubs in Europe. Could this have an impact on how these teams prepare?
This can have an impact, at least the first matches or the first games, because those who are going to play first will have a hard time with the late arrival of players, especially those from Europe in particular, who have not had enough time. Usually they practically have less to prepare together, but now it is very tight. There is also COVID that is there in this competition. The fear is that players will be infected during the competition and spend time in isolation. This will deprive some teams of part of their squads.
What are those teams that you think could defy predictions?
Nigeria can as well do well. We also have countries like Burkina Faso, who actually won most of their games on away matches and will also play the final round of the World Cup qualifiers in March.
Thank you for watching us. Follow our AFCON coverage on air and on Africanews.com in French and in English.